Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing some daily cleaning. I'm also sharing how I maintain my home with 4 young kids, and I'm going to show you how I approach my daily home resets with a calmer, more intentional mindset. I'll share how slowing down, staying calm, and involving my kids has made maintaining our home so much more manageable and even enjoyable at times. If you have something that needs to get done today, let's get it done together. Keeping up with a home and 4 young kids can feel overwhelming at times. I used to rush through every task, feeling panicked, stressed, and frustrated, like everything had to get done perfectly and immediately. But over time, I realized that living in a home doesn't have to feel like a race, and that daily tasks like picking up, making beds, changing sheets, and doing laundry don't need to be a source of stress. If cleaning, decluttering, and organizing don't come naturally to you, don't worry, because they don't come naturally to me either. But there are small mindset habits and practical things you can do in your own life that will make slowing down, staying calm, and maintaining your home easier. If you think you need some extra guidance rather than just a motivating cleaning video, I do have a free decluttering checklist that can help you tackle those overwhelming areas in your home. Plus, my program is now open for enrollment by application only for moms who are ready to take a deeper step towards long-term transformation. But today we're keeping it simple, just focusing on real-life daily home habits. The first thing I want to talk about is rage cleaning. I'm sure you've heard of rage cleaning. I want to talk about what this looks like in daily life and why moms feel this pressure. Rage cleaning, if you don't know what it is that frantic, high energy, almost aggressive cleaning when you feel like you have to get everything done immediately. It often comes with stress, guilt, frustration, even frustration with those around you, almost like you're racing against the clock and you're mad about it. Someone brought this to my attention many months ago, and I didn't even realize that I was doing this. And I feel like many of us don't realize we're doing it until we notice the tension in our bodies, the fast movement, or the stress buildup while we clean. The reason moms feel this pressure is multifaceted, between societal expectations, comparison to others, perfectionism, or just the overwhelm of juggling multiple tasks and kids at once. Even tasks that are normally simple, like vacuuming or doing dishes, can become stressful if approached in a rushed, high-pressure way. The good news is this rage cleaning habit can be broken. By noticing it, slowing down, and reframing daily tasks as manageable steps rather than a race, we can maintain our home efficiently without the stress or overwhelm. So the next time you notice yourself aggressively vacuuming or wiping a surface really fast or hard, or maybe you're just picking some stuff up and your heart is racing, take a second, notice it, and slow down. Even if you actually have to physically take a step back, go outside for a second, take a deep breath, really take a second to realize what was going on and recognize that moms do not need to be in panic mode 100% of the time. Once you've recognized this and brought your stress level back down, you can continue doing the task you were doing in a more peaceful way. Doing this over and over and over again will build this habit, and eventually when you do daily tasks, you won't feel that panic, that stress, and overwhelm that you once did. When we feel panicked or rushed while doing everyday tasks, whether it's folding laundry, picking up toys, or even cooking, it's easy to assume that we're getting things done faster, but in reality, that sense of urgency often slows us down. When your mind is stressed, you're less focused, more prone to mistakes, and you might even redo tasks because they weren't done thoroughly the first time. Have you ever found yourself moving from task to task and never actually getting anything done, never really having forward progress? Just kind of walking around your house doing one little tiny thing at a time and then getting distracted and starting something new. For example, let's say I started cleaning a bedroom and I found some dishes, so I took those dishes to the sink and then started doing the dishes. While I'm doing the dishes, I notice a dirty dish towel, so I take that dirty dish towel up to the laundry room and start a load of laundry. While starting a load of laundry, I'm going through pockets and I find some toys in one of my kids' pockets. So I take those toys to the playroom where I notice the playroom is a disaster, so I start to clean the playroom. As you can see, this is a never-ending cycle and never really makes significant progress. I have certainly done this in my own home, and I notice when I try to clean aggressively or when I notice myself rage cleaning, it feels exhausting and the results aren't any better than when I approach the tasks calmly. The key here is slowing down, being intentional, and focusing on one thing at a time. When you do this, things actually get done more efficiently and it feels less overwhelming. One of the biggest lessons I've learned as a mom, which has actually gotten easier with each child because I feel like my patience has grown tremendously, is about teaching real life skills that will serve them long term. When my kids help with folding laundry, putting away toys, or wiping counters, they're learning responsibility, organization, and how to contribute to the household and our shared space. If this is difficult for you, I totally understand because yes, it's slower. It can feel frustrating at first when tasks take longer or don't look perfect, but that's actually a good thing. Life is not meant to be in a hurry. The moments that feel slower are the ones where kids learn, where connection happens, and where you can model calmness and consistency. When we embrace the slower pace, it shifts our perspective. Efficiency isn't about speed, it's about teaching, guiding, and creating systems that work for everyone in the home. Including kids also helps them feel valued as part of the family's daily rhythm. They see that maintaining a home isn't just a mom's job, it's a shared responsibility. And over time, these lessons can make future chores easier because the skills are already embedded in their habits. One of the biggest changes that made maintaining my home feel manageable was shifting my mindset from catching up to keeping up. For years, I felt like I was always behind. Laundry piles, dishes in the sink, toys all over the floor. It was overwhelming because I was constantly trying to recover from messes instead of maintaining them as they happened. When I started thinking about keeping up instead of catching up, everything changed. The goal isn't to have a perfectly clean house, it's to stay on top of daily tasks so the mess doesn't grow into something unmanageable. Making small, consistent choices, for example, wiping down the counters while you're cooking instead of after, like I used to do, can keep the house in a state that's easier to manage. Now, as a mom of 4 kids, 7 and under, I understand that this is not always possible. Sometimes doing one load of laundry, folding it, and putting away all in the same time period is just not realistic. Sometimes you have to stop doing the dishes right in the middle of doing them and not finish until later on in the day. The goal, however, is to do what you can when you can instead of waiting until you know you can finish the whole task. What I have found, if I'm like, okay, I will get the dishes done during nap time. When nap time comes around, sometimes it's a little more difficult to put my youngest down for her nap, or maybe her nap is extra short that day. Then I end up feeling frustrated that I had planned on doing the dishes during her nap and it didn't work out because I have waited all day until this one time to get this task done. Once that time came, I was interrupted and now I'm back to square one, planning on the next time I will be able to do this. As a mom, you have to be flexible and do things when you can. For example, I might find myself folding laundry upstairs when all of the kids are playing nicely in their rooms. Even if I don't finish, I at least make progress. All of these small wins add up to something bigger and take the panic and frustration out of daily chores. When you're focused on keeping up rather than trying to fix everything, it feels so much calmer and achievable. You start to see progress in real time instead of feeling like you're constantly failing and falling behind. If you constantly feel like you're struggling to keep up with your home or always falling behind, this mindset is a game changer. If you feel like you need extra support and guidance on changing your mindset, you can check the link in my description for my Quick Start Decluttering Toolkit. It's an interactive toolkit to help you move through the hurdles and help you make progress. This toolkit is only available until December 31st, 2025. After that, it will only be available inside my program, so make sure you grab it while it is still available on its own. And as I mentioned previously, enrollment for my program has begun and is by application only. If you are accepted into the program before it begins January 1st, 2026, you will be a founding member and have founding member benefits. As a founding member, not only will you get the lowest price the program will ever be, but also the most flexible payment plan. On top of that, you will have lifetime access as long as the program is up and running to all weekly calls and the community space. As a founding member, you will help me shape the Reset Method program, and because of that, spots are very, very limited. So if you are an overwhelmed mom who wants to take control of her home and her mindset without feeling stressed, rushed, or guilty, this program is designed for you and is here to give you transformation, not information. I hope we can work together so I can support you and guide you from feeling behind and chaotic to maintaining a home that supports your life and your family. If you think you would be a good fit for this program, you can apply using the link in the description. Sometimes when I'm doing different chores around my home, you'll notice that I have my AirPods in. I used to like listening to upbeat music to get me going and get me motivated, but I started to notice that listening to this upbeat music kind of made me feel more panicked, anxious, and overwhelmed than I already was from the state of my home. Don't get me wrong, I still like listening to my music here and there, but when I'm doing chores around my home, I actually prefer to listen to audiobooks or podcasts, just something calm in the background that I enjoy listening to. I never have my noise cancellation on, so I'm always listening to everything around me, but it makes what I'm doing more enjoyable and feel less overwhelming. I feel like there's value in music or background noise to set a slower pace. When you're doing daily tasks, it's easy to fall into that rushed, panicked rhythm, especially if you feel behind or stressed already. The simplest way to naturally slow down is by adding some calming music, or like I do, an audiobook or a podcast that you enjoy, just some gentle background noise while you work. This can help your mind relax, it can reduce tension in your movements, and encourages you to focus on one task at a time rather than rushing through everything. I think one of the most important things to recognize is that you need to accept that mess happens and that's okay. One of the biggest mental blocks for moms is thinking that a messy home means they've failed. No mom wants to have unexpected guests and have to apologize because their home is actually messy. I'm not talking about a little bit messy, I'm talking about a real mess. I've learned that mess is a natural part of life, especially with kids. Accepting that things will get out of place sometimes takes a huge weight off your shoulders. It allows you to focus on maintaining your home in a realistic way rather than constantly feeling like you're behind or punishing yourself for what hasn't been done. When you accept that mess is temporary and normal, you stop getting caught in the cycle of frustration and panic. Instead, you start seeing your home as a living space, not a display, and that mindset alone makes cleaning, decluttering, and organizing feel so much more manageable. It also opens the door to creating systems that support rather than overwhelm you. When you put all of these ideas together, staying calm while doing daily tasks, involving your kids in a way that slows you down for the better, shifting from catching up to keeping up, and accepting that mess happens, you create a completely different experience in your home. These habits aren't about doing more or doing perfectly, they're about making every day feel manageable, realistic, and even a little freeing. When you approach your home with intention and a calmer mindset, you reduce stress, move more efficiently, and build a system that works for your life. Over time, this makes maintaining a home feel less overwhelming and gives you the mental space to focus on the parts of life you actually enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found today's video motivating and helpful. Make sure you check out the link in the description to download your free decluttering checklist, and I will see you in the next one.